Welcome back to my channel, InstaPhippsyFishing. I appreciate you guys tuning in for another video. Today what I'm going to be doing is using 5 of my favorite fall baits, as well as some of the best techniques for fall fishing. So the first lure I have tied on is a jerkbait. This is a Rapala Shadow Wrap Deep. A jerkbait can work all year round, but it's really good in cold water. So this is a great finesse technique for when bass aren't super active. You can twitch it and pause it right in their face and get some of those more stubborn fish to bite when they don't feel like it. So I like to always have a finesse tactic tied on. Then pretty much the opposite of that is a chatterbait or a bladed jig. This is a Z-Man original chatterbait with a Yoda worm trailer. It's got that little tickle tail that just goes nuts with every little twitch. So chatterbait, one of my favorite baits. It also works all year round. And this looks for those active bass and active fish. On a windy day like today, you need to make a little noise for your lure to stand out and for the bass to be able to zone in on it. So a chatterbait is great for that. Definitely a power technique. Basically all you have to do is cast and retrieve. But when the fish are fired up and ready to feed, there's not many baits that are better than a chatterbait. Lure number 3 is a buzzbait. I like to always have a topwater option as well. There's certain days that topwater will be better than others. Today I'm not really sure because the weather has been cold and rainy all week, and now it's super sunny and there's not a cloud in the sky. So I wouldn't think topwater is best, but in fall, buzzbait is one of my favorite topwater lures. And I go with a buzzbait that does not have a skirt. And I've got a 4.75 inch Biospawn Exo Swim as the trailer. It's just a big profile, soft plastic swim bait. Again, so the buzz bait will draw the fish in with that noise, and then they can zone in on that big soft plastic to bite. And I also have a trailer hook on there that almost goes to the tail. That way I'm not just having them bite the ends of my tail off. So for my topwater option, a buzz bait. My next 2 baits might not always get the most bites, but these I'm looking for big bites, either from bass or pike or walleye. So this is just a huge swim bait. I don't know exactly how big it is, but it's probably around 8 inches. It's a rainbow trout color. Big swim baits, if you're gonna get a bite on them, fall can be the time to just find those trophy bass. So I've actually never caught a fish on this swim bait, but I like to throw it, especially in fall, just because there's always that chance that you're gonna get a monster. For my 5th and final choice, I'm going with an umbrella rig or an Alabama rig. Usually in the fall, bass are actively feeding on schools of fish, just trying to get as fat as they can for the winter. So they're really trying to bulk up. So something that imitates a small school of fish works amazing. I've only used an umbrella rig a couple of times, but I've actually caught fish on it every time I've used it. So again, this one is more looking for those big bites, trying to catch a nice 4 or 5 pound smallmouth bass. So those are the 5 lures, baits, and techniques I'm going to be using today. Hopefully I can get into a lot of fish and some big fish. Again, the weather is quite different today, so that could either be really good or bad for fishing, but only time will tell. Make sure you guys are subscribing if you're enjoying my videos, and let's see how today goes. Starting off with the jerkbait, which is my most finesse technique for the day. In general, I think it's usually better to start with a finesse bait, just in case the fish are really skittish or scared. You know, if you go in there with a chatterbait and start making all types of noise right away, it might just turn the fish off or scare them out of the area. Whereas if you just sneak in quietly with a finesse bait, you're able to get those finicky fish. You might get the more aggressive ones, but at least it shouldn't scare them out of the area. So if there is some more aggressive ones around, after you've caught a few, you can start throwing those louder power lures, and then maybe catch yourself some of those big fish that are waiting there. But this area is quite grassy, so a jerkbait is not ideal in thick grass. So I'm going to be using something that gets through the grass a little bit better until I get into the areas that don't have grass, and then I'll switch back to the finesse technique. So I'm gonna switch to the Alabama or umbrella rig, and I'm just reeling it fast enough just to keep it over top of that grass, just so it doesn't get all caught up. Don't know if you can see the grass in the water there, but I just swim it over top. The jerkbait I was using is a slow sinking jerkbait, so it just gets down too deep in that grass. So the Alabama rig should be an okay option. It's big and there's, you know, 5 different baits on it, but it doesn't put off a ton of noise. So it shouldn't scare away any bass that aren't super active. And if a bass sees a nice school of, you know, big juicy minnows swimming over its head, it's a pretty natural looking bait for something that's so big and heavy duty. So just kind of using this as a search bait as I troll towards the spot I actually plan on fishing, you know, just in case there's any big roaming bass in between spots. And then once I get to my spot that I want up ahead, I'm going to switch back to the jerkbait, just because that's my most finesse option, and it could help pick off some more timid bass if they are, you know, in that mood just with this bright sun. I'm really hoping I can get into something big today. So there's not as many weeds here, so I'm going to make a few casts with the jerkbait and just see if anything's lurking around. Got one. No, that's a snag. Not ideal to get snagged here just because the water's so shallow. So I have to troll right over the hot spot. So I might just leave that snagged for a little bit. So unfortunately I don't have any other finesse techniques, so might as well let the fish know that we're here. We'll use the big mama. Got the jerkbait unstuck. Well, I definitely didn't execute my plan perfectly, but there also just might not be any fish this shallow when it is, you know, this warm and sunny. Oh, but I did just have a bite there. Oh, got one. Nice bass. All right. So I just had a bite, threw back in there and hooked one. I'm gonna try and get all my fish in the boat today, just in case, you know, they're big. Because you never know in fall time. Fall's a good time to break your PB. Wow. That was mostly my fault. Okay, so got one on the jerkbait. Probably didn't need the net, but that was probably in and around 3 pounds. Definitely it wasn't a PB fish, but was a nice solid smallie to start the day. So the plan kind of worked. Sneak in with a jerkbait. I wonder if he's the one that bit me the first time, or if there's another one down there waiting for me. I saw him come eat it too, which was kind of cool. I'm pretty sure it was while I was pausing. I had just twitched, paused, and I was about to twitch again, but I saw him there, so I just left it and he hammered it. The only downside is there's not many spots I can cast with the jerkbait without picking up weeds. A lot of the stuff I'm using today isn't really great for shallow water like this. See if maybe I can get a topwater blow up or something. Oh wow, tons of minnows. Something should be feeding. Other than that one chunky smallie and a school of minnows, doesn't seem to be much life here right now. It's just crazy how things change. Like 2 or 3 days ago, this place was just loaded. So I'm gonna keep moving around today just until I find a good school of fish, just because I don't have a ton of time and I wanna make sure I get into some decent ones here. And with these techniques, should just keep moving until you find something that's willing to bite, because between those 5 options, there should be something. Okay, one bass at spot number 1. See if there's any hiding in spot number 2. Gonna toss around the big swim bait a bit. So I would love to catch something on this. I'm guessing the first fish I'm gonna catch on this is gonna be a big pike, but I'm just praying it's a giant smallie. No takers yet on the big swim bait. Hopefully we can convince someone today. I should be able to catch one smallmouth out of here, I would think. It's usually a decent spot. Spot number 2 was a bust. Okay, I'm at spot number 5. Let's hope we can get into something here. Been a slow day, only one confirmed fish seen. And I lost it during a terrible net job. There's gotta be a big one lurking around somewhere. Just gotta keep casting. Oh, had a bite and it friggin' rocked it. Shoot. Oh, that felt good. First bite in a few hours. Oh man, what was it? I was not ready for that. Probably a pike, but still awesome. Just missed the hook. Come on, buzzbait, I have faith in you. You've got to piss someone off like you always do. Yeah, right. Friggin' huge explosion right behind me. Just teasing me. Oh, it followed me. It was right there. Pretty nice bass. Come on back. Didn't mean to scare you. Spot number 5 has potential. Had one bite on the giant swim bait and one follow on the buzz bait so far. I also saw a fish jump, so we've got 3 confirmed fish activity sightings. Oh, I don't know what that was. Oh, it came back. An okay pike. Nothing huge, but it's been a while since I got a bite or hooked anything, so get a good shot of him just in case we lose him. Probably about 20, 22, 24 inches or so. Nothing crazy. On the trailer hook. Nice one. Ooh. Oh, 27 inches. It's not bad. See ya. Oh, that was nice of him to stop by. I basically cast it right on top of his head. So then right away he reacted and he missed it the first time. So then I slowed down, and when he actually bit it, it wasn't even on top of the water anymore, really. Again, it's a very interesting day compared to the rest of the week. This is by far the nicest weather we've had in about 8 or 9 days. I had some great days of fishing when it was all overcast and rainy and cold. Now it's bright and sunny and not a cloud in the sky, and barely a fish biting. But I do still have an hour of daylight left, so hopefully I can figure something out here. All we need is a giant to turn things around. Just had a bite right there as I was lifting it out of the water. I don't know what it was though. Its fin looked like it had some color on it. Oh, yes. Just had like 2 or 3 bites right there. Ooh, that's a chunky one. That is nice. Pretty much been throwing only the buzz bait for the last like 45 minutes or so, and it paid off. That could be 3. At least high 2s. I'm gonna guess 2 pounds, 14 ounces. 3 pounds, 8 ounces. Nice 3.5 pounder. That is a gorgeous fish. Stop. He's still got so much energy because I caught him right at the boat. So there was no fight. Just caught him and scooped him. 3 pounds, 7 ounces. Basically a 3.5 pounder. Like all summer, 3.5 pounders were hard to catch. And then it seems like every outing I get just one 3.5 pounder. And that's about it these days. Thank you. Beautiful fish. Gentle swim off. Okay, we got half an hour left. Let's see if we can get 1 or 2 more of those. Finally, a little excitement. I could be wrong, but it looked to me like there were multiple fish there. So let's see. I saw like 2 or 3 bites at it, but the current's moving so fast I couldn't tell if it was all from that one fish or not. The jerkbait should tell us if there's more fish here or not. Ooh, this one could be good. Oh, what the heck? Nice. A decent walleye. Okay, I was trying to avoid the tangle in the net, but whatever. This guy hit hard. Oh, that's not going to be fun to try and get out. The walleye's unhooked, but the lure is going to be a different story. Nice 17 or 18 incher. Let's confirm. That is 18 3/4. Nice one. I have been loving catching walleye on lures lately rather than just on hook and worm. See ya, thank you. Okay, things are picking up, I like it. I had high hopes that that was a big bass. It hit hard, and then it just felt like weight, just like a lot of weight. Well, that wasn't as bad as I feared. Cool. Cool. Another walleye right at the boat. Let's see if I can get him in. That's what I want to do. Kind of net them, but not really. Whoop. I think that net floats, but I did not want to find out. I'm like, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Nets in the water. This is a 14, no. I've been under guessing. Let's say 14 and a half. That's 14 3/4. That's a little closer. He hit that right at the boat. Let me guess, I'm just gonna catch a bunch of walleye down the night. Seems to be my thing these days. Ooh. Yeah, he hit it at the boat like 6 inches below the water, so that was pretty cool. That's like twice, like 2 out of the last three fish. Oh, just had a good bite there. I've seen the fish come up and then I've just stopped the lure and like left it for them to hit it. Ooh. There we go, that's a smallie. I guess everything kind of, it was actually, I hooked him in the top. I hit him in the back. What I was gonna say is everything feels a bit better on this light setup. This is my medium action rod. And I've got 10 pound test braid as the main line onto a 10 pound test fluorocarbon leader. Now that smallie felt bigger because he was foul hooked, but he was probably only about, he was probably under 2 pounds. Yeah. Another walleye. So cool. Kind of in that 14 and a half range. I think there's a whole school down there because it feels like it's being hit from all directions. He just ran into the boat after. I don't know why, but these all feel huge. That one I thought was going to be special. This feels like a smallie, but it's not. Literally next cast. This is friggin' nuts. I seem like some sort of walleye master, but literally I never can catch walleye on lures. And then just in the last like week and a half, I also pretty much never fish, like I've barely ever fished past mid-October, so maybe this is just when the walleye go nuts. Anyways, I am loving it, but I would love a monster walleye even more. Yeah, I can't tell if I'm like banging into rocks a little bit or just getting swarmed by a school of walleye. Oh yeah. What are you? What the heck? It's about the same size. It felt huge. That's a bit bigger. Yeah, that's probably like 15 inches. Ow! Yes, sir. Barely got him. Well, this is fun. I don't mind ending the day like this. This is not the plan, but hey, it's on one of the baits I said is a good fall bait. I just didn't say that it's a good multi-species bait, and it is. Come on. This is fighting hard. Yeah, it's a smallie. Just a little guy. But that was the target species originally. Feisty little guy. Now, I know this might seem silly, but I'm gonna put the jerkbait away. Now that I know I've found some fish, I'm gonna see if I can hook into something bigger. The jerkbait definitely can catch big fish, but I just have more faith in other things to catch bigger ones. No. Shoot. Should have stuck with the jerkbait. Oh yeah. I think the full moon is tomorrow night. Don't know if you guys can see it, but it looks huge right now. So that's usually good for fishing. But I knew with today's weather, it might not be the best day of fishing. And because I was using my top 5 favorite fall lures, those were the only 5 lures I brought with me, so I couldn't make any changes. But if I could go back and bring some lures with me, I'd probably just add a drop shot, because when the fish are being finicky like this and you know, not getting a ton of bites, a drop shot is just great at finessing stubborn bass into biting. And then I would add a topwater walking style bait, the Guggen Squad Hound. It's just a little, oh, got one. Like, these walleye fight so friggin' hard, and that never happens. It's always nice to end on a fish. I wonder if I just caught my limit again of walleye. Oh. This is either number 5 or 6 or 7 or something. But yeah, I would have added a Guggen Squad hound. It's just more of, not finesse, but it's not as loud and obnoxious as the buzzbait. So it just would have been another nice topwater option. And I've already had a few good days with that lure in the fall. This one feels huge as well, but is it? No. But another beauty. That's probably 16 inches. That's a rare size, the 16 incher. Or wait, no, the other day I said that's the average size. The rare 16 incher. Or so I'm guessing. He got a bunch of hooks in him. Get the official measurement. 16 dead on. 16 dead on. Sniped that one. So today the hero was the jerkbait, and I caught that nice 3.5 pound bass on the buzzbait. And I also caught a pike on the buzzbait. So I knew it was a risky day to make this video, but hopefully you guys still enjoyed it, and hopefully you enjoyed that flurry of walleye at the end. I thank you guys for watching these videos, and the best way you can thank me for making them is by subscribing. Hope you guys are doing great, and we'll see you next time.